As Christians, we are called to be stewards of the earth. And when it comes to the climate crisis, the world is in a Kairos moment, a time when humanity will either act and help the earth start healing or not. Here's a reflection from Sandra Wong on an aspect of how we can participate in the healing of creation's brokenness.
Since joining the Green Team, my awareness of how our actions impact the environment has greatly expanded. So I decided to start the Niles Discovery Church community group on the Fremont Green Challenge website. Now we have 17 households on our team. The changes I have made are most evident in how I get ready in the morning for work. I love long, hot showers. So choosing the action item of taking shorter showers was not immediately enticing. After a while, it became a game to me. How fast can I shower without feeling stressed or rushed? Now, while the water is warm up in the shower, I start washing my face, hands, and feet with the cold water, since these body parts can withstand the cold temperature better than the rest of my body. To cut down on the use of plastic, I started using a shampoo bar and conditioner bar. This also avoids the few seconds of opening, closing, and shaking up the plastic shampoo bottle. I turn off the water when lathering my hair, depending on how cold it is in the morning. If it's too cold, I'll turn down the force of the water, but not completely off. No blow dryer for me. I have a fan on in the car on my way to work to air dry my hair. I've gotten my shower down to 5 minutes or less now. Also, I brush my teeth with chew paste instead of using toothpaste from a plastic tube. And I floss with silk floss that comes in a glass tube. All these items can be purchased on plastic-free websites like ET or Ethic. Conserving our natural resources like water and electricity and using less plastic waste did not come naturally for me. I was challenged by my Green Team and inspired by our church's commitment to caring for creation. Now I challenge you to join me and our church in participating in our own version of the Summer Olympic Games. The ND Challenge will start today and will span through the summer to the end of August. To kick off our challenge, you will hear from Community Climate Solutions City Program Manager Patrick Journey as he walks us through the website after today's church service. You will learn how you and your family can get involved in this fun challenge. Each month, we will have a different theme. April and May will challenge us to just sign up on the website. June will be focused on education. July will be about electricity and heat. August will be about food and waste. Eco-friendly prizes will be awarded by drawing among those who participate in the theme month's action items. Maybe an ultra short shower is not for you. The great thing about the Fremont Green Challenge website is that it has something for everyone to try, and you don't have to be a Fremont resident to participate. Let the games begin.
Hello, yes, good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you all for giving me the opportunity to share a little bit about the Fremont Green Challenge and the Niles Discovery Climate Challenge that a lot of amazing leaders in your congregation have launched. Just a little bit of background on myself. So I work with the city of Fremont. I work for a nonprofit called Community Climate Solutions, and we help different cities and counties all across the country, including, of course, Fremont, engage their residents on taking climate action. And so I'm really excited to explain a little bit about how it all works and what the platform is actually like. And then Sandra and Susie will go into a little bit of detail about what's going to happen going forward, because they've come up with an amazing set of different kind of mini challenges on a month-to-month timeline for the upcoming summer. But just so a little bit of context around how this all came to be. I think a lot of people are really surprised to learn that about 40% of emissions come from just basic things that we all do every day, from the way we get around to the ways we power and heat our homes, to the food that we eat and the waste we create. And I think what this means, as Pastor Jeff was saying, is there's actually a really great role that we can play in helping to reduce climate change and mitigate the worst effects of climate change. And so there's a lot of things that we can all do if we work together to have a really big impact. This is not the only thing that needs to happen. The pastor is so correct in saying that we need local, statewide, international, national levels of action and policy to be made. But while that process is happening, and as I think we've all felt, it's happening a little slower than we want, there's also so much that we can all do in our own communities, not only to reduce our emissions, but to help really show our leaders what we can do when we work together and not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. Another thing that I think people are oftentimes surprised about is this statistic that came out with the Yale 2020 research around climate change, which is that a lot of people think climate change is a polarized or politicized issue in America. And the reality is that a vast majority of Americans really care about this issue and want to act on it. And in 2020, the Yale research found that 66% of Americans feel a personal responsibility to act, but aren't sure what to do. So there are some people like Sandra, who have already started taking some amazing actions in their own lives, like taking shorter showers and getting rid of single-use plastics, and are really acting on their concern. But there's a lot of people in this country that really care and aren't really sure what they should do to act on that concern. And so as a result of the impact that we can have when we work together and reduce emissions, and the fact that people really want to do something, we created a platform that connects communities to the resources and to the solutions that we can all implement in our own lives that will add up to a big impact. So I'm going to share a little bit about kind of how the Fremont Green Challenge actually works, so you all can have a good idea when you're later on this month and next month signing up and creating your profile and taking action together. And so Sandra already shared in the chat a custom invite link. So if you click on that link and you create your account, which is free and really easy, you just put in your email and create a password and a household name. Then you'll be automatically a part of the Niles Discovery Church Community Group page. So here you'll be able to see the impact from everyone working together. So currently there have been 26 new actions taken by members of the Niles Discovery community. You can see the different members that are involved, and then you can see all the actions completed when we work together. So 11 people in the Niles Discovery community have already chosen green electricity, for example. And then you can also post questions or share ideas or share an action you're taking in your community group. So along with the conversations that you'll have in the coffee hours after the service or in the youth services, there will also be the opportunity for people to share and listen and learn on the platform. But so how it works is really the same for everyone. So when you click on that link and create your account, there are 3 main things that you can do. And they've created a really great challenge where you can kind of take time over the next couple of months to do a set of different actions. And the first thing to do is to complete your profile. So completing your profile is just inputting basic information about your home, like the kind of appliances you have and how often you drive and what kind of car you use, to understand your household carbon footprint. And then you can discover and take action. And then obviously throughout the whole process, you can work with the community, with the Niles Discovery community on the community page to share and listen and learn. And so when you complete the energy profile, you will see your starting impact. So you'll be able to see an estimate for your carbon footprint for your home based on the information you input into the energy profile, which takes about 5 to 10 minutes. So it doesn't take too long to get a really good understanding of kind of how you compare to your neighbors in Fremont, to the US as a whole. We've included here a goal that's in line with the UN Paris Accord to reduce US household emissions 80% by 2030. And you'll notice here, this household, a household of 3, started with about 26 tons for their home. And by finding new actions on the platform and implementing them into their lives, they were able to reduce their impact down to 12 tons as a house. So they were able to reduce their impact over 50% by taking action, and are still on their way towards the long-term goal of 2 tons per person in the next 10 years. And so when you click into an action, I'll kind of show what it looks like to take actions. I forget the exact order, but I know that in the 3-month challenge, you'll be working to reduce your transportation, so your overall impact for the ways you get around. And so everyone will, kind of navigate the category of transportation and think about one thing that they can maybe do, or maybe 2 or 3, to reduce their impact. And then in another month, you all will focus on how you can eat green and waste less. So both eating more sustainably, but also wasting less food, and then wasting less in general. So reducing your plastic usage, and in general, trying to create a more circular economy where we use less to start with, we use it better, and we put it in the right waste stream so we don't create as much trash. And then the third action kind of focus will be to be more energy smart. So there's a lot we can do that's pretty easy to reduce our utility bills, both for heating in the winter and electricity. So there's some great easy things here. And then the big picture in mind, since I know a lot of you are really thinking critically about how you can make the biggest impact, is to transition our home to be powered totally on clean energy. And you can do this by upgrading to clean electricity, which is a program that East Bay Community Energy has. And then as your appliances slowly break down and at the end of their 10 or 15 or 20 year cycle, replacing them with an electric appliance is really the best way to reduce our impact. So this kind of connects you to the different resources for, winter if you're at the place where you need to replace your appliances or to shift to a more electric home. So just to show what it looks like when you click into an action, so you have a good idea, I'll go to a really straightforward concept, which is switching to more efficient lighting. I'm sure most of you already have LEDs in your home. If not, it's a really easy way to make a big impact, and it actually saves you money over the course of the year. But so when you click into it, you'll be able to see the expected impact on your carbon footprint, or for our water actions on your overall water usage by taking the action. So in a way, it helps you kind of understand or conceptualize what is the impact, which actions have a bigger impact, they have more points associated with them. And as you rack up points for your household, you'll also be contributing to the Niles Discovery Challenge to become the #1 community group again in the region. And so you can also customize actions by just inputting the way you're taking them. So let's say you're switching out 15 light bulbs. Instead of 5, you'll have a slightly different impact. For something like LEDs, you probably don't need to read a lot to understand more about the action. But for more complicated actions like installing an induction cooktop, or how to store food more effectively to reduce food waste in your home, there's really great info here that helps you understand if it's the right action for you. And if so, what are the steps or the tips to complete the action? And then oftentimes people's favorite part about the platform is that we've connected in all of the resources from the city and the county and the state that make it a lot easier to take action. Oftentimes there's big cost savings, especially for the big ticket actions like buying an EV or installing solar, or different programs that just make it really easy to take an action. And so when you work together, you'll be able to see the impact add up on the community group page. But what's more, you can always see the impact that's having for the whole Fremont community. So you can always go to the region page. And I know one of the goals that the Green Team has is to become the #1 community group again. About a year ago, you all were the top group in the community. But since 2020, we have had a lot of different community groups working together, from high school teachers to an elementary school classroom to the Girl Scouts in the area. So you all do have some work to do again to catch back up and become #1, but it's totally doable. I know there's about 70 households currently on the call. And so if all of you just took 3 actions in the next 3 months, you would easily become the #1 community group again, and show the rest of Fremont that you are the climate leaders that I know you all are. And so I'm going to pause here because I want to leave some opportunity for questions. And I also want to give Sandra or Susie the opportunity to add in anything or kind of share a little bit more about what's going forward. So I guess first, if Sandra or Susie want to share anything, and then maybe at the end we can have questions for everyone.
We also plan to have guest speakers to also kick off each theme month. So again, April and May is mainly just to encourage you guys to set up your profile on the website, kind of poke around in there, and then basically then June is transportation, July is home energy or electricity and heat, and then food waste is August. But we're going to try to have a guest speaker at the beginning of each of those months about that theme to encourage you guys to also participate. And then we also are going to have prizes at the end as well. So should be fun.
So Patrick, question. In the Green Challenge, if you've already done something, how do you interact with it? Not something you're planning to do, something you already did.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, there's two ways that you can take an action. And the big focus for the summer is to find new things that you can do. So start, one or two new things each month. But it's also great just to mark things off that you've already done. So let's say, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, you already switched to LED light bulbs and you just want to mark it as complete. So it shows up as an action that you've previously done. So you click get started here on the action page, and then you click previously completed. And then you'll say, yep, I did that, a while in the past. So I'm just marking it as done. And then just to show the difference, if you are completing a new action, there's just a separate step to take. So I need to remove it really quick. But yeah, a great thing to do is kind of show off your green. So just go through the platform and kind of click everything you're already doing as a way just to kind of, see all the great stuff you're probably already doing that maybe you haven't thought about. When you take a new action, you click that one instead, and then you'll select a due date. So you could start thinking about what you're doing in June and July and August already and select your due date then. Or oftentimes when you're actually taking the action and marking it complete, you're just kind of going through the process now. So I'll say, I'm getting LED light bulbs this weekend, so I'm going to do it now. And I've got 15 new light bulbs, save that. Now I've committed to the action. And then if I'm doing it right now, like I'm actually just going to go and change all my light bulbs this minute, then I'll mark it as complete and click save. And once you mark it as complete, those points or the impact gets added to your community group, and you'll have the opportunity to share it with your community group if you'd like. So this account's a part of a PTA community at Oliveira. So you can share anything if you'd like to, or you could just exit out and you have completed the action for the month.
Sean.
I don't live in California, but yet I consider myself a member of your church, or Niles Discovery Church. Can the impact that I do here go towards Niles Discovery?
Yes, it can. Yeah, and that's one thing I forgot to say. So the platform is available to anyone in the country. And so if you sign up on the custom invite link that Sandra shared in the chat, which I'm sure she'll share later on in like a newsletter or some sort of follow-up, then you'll be able to click your city and state wherever you live. And then when you take action on the site, it'll all go towards the Niles Discovery Church Challenge. You'll still be able to meaningfully participate. You'll find different resources for wherever you live because we've localized it. So let's say you live in San Jose, you'll find San Jose specific information, but you'll still be able to take the same actions and kind of put your points towards the congregation.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sean.
I think Iris and Leonard had a question.
So my question is, can people be in more than one group? Like, can we be in a group for our school and a group for our church?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. So you can only be in one group at a time. And what I'd recommend is being in a group that you're actively in a challenge with. So like from June through August, if you're participating in the Niles group, being in this community group, we do that so your points don't get like double counted.
Yeah.
But it's easy to leave a group and join a group again. So if you were a part of multiple communities, I know a lot of you are really involved in the community. You can always kind of go back and forth if you're participating in multiple challenges.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Patrick, I have a question for you. So if people don't have that link that I posted in the chat, let's just say somebody just wants to join Niles Discovery Church team, is there a section on the website they can just search and then be added on?
Yes, there is. So yeah, I think
need that to get, yeah.
What was that?
Or do they need specifically that link to get in? They can just they can just type in Niles Discovery Church to join the team?
Yeah, so I can quick show that. I think the easiest thing is just to click on the link because you'll automatically join, but it's really easy to leave or join a group. So I'm leaving the Niles Discovery Church to show how you can join it again. It may take a second to process. So on this, either you can always go invite your friends or community, or you can go here where it says my community group. And if you're not a part of a community group, then you can go and find it. So there's a lot of groups now in Fremont. So I think it's on page 5.
Yeah.
It's all just alphabetical. You can just click join community. And then once you click join, you can go to your community page. So it's as simple as that. So yeah, if you do want to kind of toggle between communities, you can always leave one and see what's happening in the other one, and then kind of rejoin whichever one you want.
Any other questions anybody has?
I'll just share my experience with it in that when Sandra first set this up, when the green team kind of started last summer, I joined it, and then maybe I did 1 or 2 actions. I can't really remember. And then kind of being reminded, because we're doing the green challenge, I go back and I kind of figure it out again, and I say, oh yeah. And I tried something else. I joined the East Bay Community Energy 100% renewable after Rich Godfrey encouraged me to do that, because I said I didn't have solar. But what I could do with my electricity was go 100% renewable. So that was something I did. And then I went back in and I said, well, wait a minute, I've already done this. I forget what it was. It wasn't the LED light bulbs, but now I can say I've already done that. So I just wanted to say that it's interactive. You think of things, you work on it for half an hour, you go away and do something else, and you can come back. And this initial phase of the Green Challenge, the way we've set it up, there's about a month and a half to get acquainted and just sign up. But we hope people will just start interacting with it. And as Sandra said, we're going to have some special themes for the coming months of the challenge, or the summer, so we can build our capacity in our own brains to do this kind of work to help the climate crisis. Yeah.
Hey, we joined quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it's been so long ago that I forgot how to to reconnect. Do we just go to the FremontGreenChallenge.org to get into the system?
Yeah, or you can even go to the chat and Sandra put the link in there. Just click on the link. It's about 5 back.
But is it right? Do you go to FremontGreenChallenge.org? That gets you into the system? And then you can maneuver once you get inside.
Yeah, you'll probably have to, if you don't remember your password, like reset it. And if you don't remember your email, you might just have to make a new account, because that's the way you get in, is with an email and a password.
I don't remember my name nowadays. So
you do have 2 emails, Ron. I remember you told us that. You have to pick one.
Well, that's been a long time problem. Okay, so
I'm going to share just my experience. I found the website overwhelming at first. Even still, I find it a little bit overwhelming, just because there's so much that we can do that that if you spend too much time in front of it, you'll feel like you're drinking out of a fire hose, and your cheek's going to get ripped off. So my recommendation is go in, poke around a little bit, maybe set a timer so that you don't spend too much time there. Leave, go back a couple days later, poke around again. It's designed to be interactive, to be able to go back to it, to go, okay, I'm ready to do something else. What could I do? And to learn more about things and to get ideas about what you can do. So it's, but it's not a simple website, because there is so much there.
Yeah, and Patrick pointed out to us a month or 2 ago when Sandra and I were talking to him that they've added a lot. So the last time you used it a couple months ago, it got even more exciting, more challenges.
That's why we're hoping that if we have theme months, it won't be as overwhelming. You can just focus on that theme for that month. Just look at those and just move and then go from there.
Yeah, that's really what we recommend, is, like, for example, with there is so much to do in all of our lives. But with shifting your ride, it's like, all right, here's one thing I can do. Maybe I can't buy an EV now, but maybe since I'm starting to travel again, I can offset air travel. That's one thing I can do. Or maybe I could decide to combine trips a little bit more strategically. So I'm combining my errands and minimizing the amount of mileage driven. And so you can kind of focus in on one thing or one kind of category, and then, each share and learn from each other, and people can share what they experienced when they were, either got an EV or decided to combine trips or walk to the local grocery store or something like that.
Yeah, we're hoping to have one of our guest speakers for June to actually talk about carbon offsets for air travel too, because I think that's something that a lot of people don't know about. So, yeah.
I have a little suggestion for this speaker. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but just instead of saying EV, to get more people understanding what you're talking about, just say electric vehicle, I think.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think we need to, for me, what happens is I'm recognizing that changing the way we live, you got to do it little step by little step. And so learning how to use the website little step by little step is very emblematic of what we're trying to do to reduce CO2 in the atmosphere. Step by step, little steps.
And if anybody has questions, you can, email me, and then I can, if I don't know the answer, then I'll ask Patrick, who's the expert on the website.
Okay.
Yeah, and that point that Iris brought up, changing behavior, I forget, there's some psychology, maybe Jeff knows it. You have to do something like 30 times to change your behavior on something, to really get your brain to recalibrate. So Sandra probably had to take 30 of those showers with her timer to say, yeah, only 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah, I can do it. And I have to tell you, Sandra, I'm going to go back to that, trying to do that. I used to have a timer that was stuck on the wall, and probably find those again. They're plastic, but wouldn't want a glass one in the shower because they do fall. But anyway, you can, get pretty good at it, and you change your behavior. You just have to try something. Like I changed my behavior to giving up beef. It wasn't that hard once I started doing it. And my husband's kind of going along with it too, although he goes and sneaks in a hamburger once in a while. But when he has a hamburger at home, I have a Impossible Burger or Beyond Meat burger. So yeah, there's lots of ways to change our behaviors one little tiny step at a time.
Yeah, and I think this will be really good to do with families. If you have kids, this summer, if you're looking for something fun to do for the summer, it could be a summer project with your family. I think they can really get into it.
Are there any parts of the website about growing food at home?
So we're actually building a resilience and emergency preparedness category that we're hoping to launch this summer. So maybe that could be, after the August challenge, that could be something that people take additional action in. And yeah, growing your own food will be a part of that. So it's not yet on the site, but it's coming soon.
Okay, good to hear.
Yeah. There'll be some great fire mitigation and different emergency resilience things around earthquakes here, etc. as well.
Can you tell them thank you and then leave? Or did you already leave?
No, I didn't yet.
As Patrick said earlier, you can, we're going to kind of try to do some marketing to remind people about the things going on with the challenge. And some of those ways we can do that are writing bell articles. We can send emails to our email list. We can put announcements in the This Week at Niles. And so some of those of us who have gardens, I'm not looking at you, Leonard and Iris, but I am. Maybe you could write a bell article about your garden and how to start small with a garden if you don't have one, like potted tomatoes, if you like tomatoes. But anyway, that would be a lovely bell article. You're growing your own garden.
Well, we do a summer garden. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you do. So, and I think it's pretty fabulous.
Yeah.
You just restarted.
Yeah.
Well, I want to, I'm not sure if anybody has any other questions, but I really want to thank Patrick for giving, taking the time to give this presentation and just walking us through the website. I think that was very helpful and hopefully inspiring people to give it a try. So thank you so much, Patrick.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And
Thank you, Patrick.
I'll put my email in the chat, and you can also feel free to share this later if anyone has any specific questions. I'd be super happy to answer them.
It's great. Thank you.
So there it is. So folk who want to stick around for a breakout room, there should be a button at the bottom right now that says join breakout room. And you can click that to go over to one of the fellowship rooms. And if you need to move on with your day, you can just leave the meeting. Patrick, thank you so much for coming and joining us here. I'm glad you caught a little bit of my sermon at least. So yeah, and thanks. I know that you did double duty today.
Yeah.
You were at another congregation. Which congregation were you at?
Mission Peak.
Mission Peak Unitarian?
Yeah, they're just launching their challenge today.
Okay, they're gonna be tough competition, folks.
We have competition.
Yeah, we really have to make sure we know who our competition is.
Okay.
Thanks, Patrick.
Definitely.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.